All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, welcome to Oasis Sacred Spaces. We are your divine oracles, Candy and Brandy. I am Brandy.
And I'm Candy.
And today, well, first off, we got the sage going. The space is cleared and cleansed. We're going to hit the singing bowl a couple times just to get everybody cleansed as well.
That's right. Sync up a little bit
While we're in this space together, this shared energy.
of the sacred space.
Shared vibration. Here we go. All right.
That's a good tone there.
That was good.
Very good. Very good.
So today, everyone, we're going to have a discussion about starseeds. I'm not sure how many of y'all resonate with this. I'm pretty sure a lot of you will. Some of you may not, and that's okay. Take what does resonate and leave the rest, because somebody else will pick it up.
That's right.
And me and Mom, we very much feel drawn to the energies of starseeds. We truly believe that we are starseeds ourselves, and we wanted to discuss what that means and see how many of you out there resonate with the same belief system.
Yes.
Because we are here to find our soul tribe, and we're trying to connect and find more like-minded souls on the same journey but different journey. Because in the end, we're all one, but we're all sharing this experience together, just experiencing it differently.
Yes. Does this fall under light workers, or do light workers fall under starseeds, Brandy?
They're different in a way,
Right.
because starseeds can be light workers, but light workers can also originate from Earth.
Yes.
And they can just be Earth angels at the same time. So there's different levels of dimensional beings pretty much that can
Like
work
the
with
indigo
light.
children and all that kind of stuff too.
Right. I mean, well, indigo children are types of starseeds. There's also rainbow children. There's crystal children. There's several. Those are just the children that have been being born, and those are types of starseeds who came here with specific missions. And in my belief system, for starseeds, everybody is technically a starseed. Because we all have a mixture of genetics within us. But some of you will connect to, you may find, we'll go through a list of different types of starseeds and where they originate, but you may find that you resonate, you vibrate at that same energy level and be like, ooh, yes, I have some of that in me. I have some of that in me. They're just characteristic traits that you feel like, ooh, that's part of my being, my joy, my passion. So I definitely resonate with this type of starseed.
So today we're just going to have a general conversation about the starseeds before we then broach some of the
Yes, get into
specifics.
depth about it, the individual. So we'll talk to you first, right? What is a starseed? Some of the traits of feelings or being, that you might find yourself going, ooh, I'm that same type of person. And then this will open up that portal, the
research
energy
thing,
for
that's
you
right.
to go dive into that awakening experience and get to know yourself on a deeper inner level. And then you can say, oh, I know why now, because that's what we're all searching for, is understanding of ourselves and what we're here for, what's our purpose. So let's start off with starseeds. These are some traits to look within yourself and see if you have any of these traits, right? So first, you have like an affinity, a love for the stars, looking up at the night sky, you have this feeling, this deep inner knowing that you are not of Earth, right? That you come from somewhere else, that you come from the stars. That's where your soul originates,
Yeah, your soul.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Your soul is just like, oh, and what's another one? Oh, you have a mission. Like you feel that you are just so driven that there's a purpose. You're here for something. There's a spiritual calling.
Yes.
To do something, to help humanity, to help serve your fellow man, to just put your soul out there to help anybody in need, right? You have such empathy, such compassion for your fellow brother, sister, the human race,
And the earth itself.
And
as
the
well,
earth,
because
yes.
that
You
is
feel such a connection
Yes.
to the energies, the nature the animals, the plants, you just have that connection, like, oh, I love nature.
Yeah, so people often think that maybe, you're the weirdo in the family, stuff like this. Some people will go, well, I'm the black sheep because I don't actually believe everything my family does. I kind of am different, and I don't exactly know why. And a lot of times it'll get a negative connotation. That feeling gets to feel wrong. But it isn't. It just really is. You are different. You indeed are different. We've kind of discovered that a lot of starseeds come through the darkest of ancestral lines, right? They come through family lines that need healing from way back, generational
Curses. There's a lot of abuse, trauma, struggle, lack, just lots of trauma and abuse within the lineage of that family. And so that is part of the mission of why you came here to Earth and why you are so different, because you're meant to change, and it's kind of like a signal interruption, right? You are disrupting that frequency to create a shift so that it's no longer heading towards that same path, right? You're altering its course, and now you're transmuting that negativity and that energy, that heavy, dense abuse, and you're alchemizing it. That's the starseed. We want to spread love and light and help others, and so we choose to go against that of how we were raised and create a different program, a different shift, a different lineage. This is my family. I'm going to love my family. I'm going to put this attention onto my children. I'm going to show love and be affectionate. There will be boundaries, whatever it is that you're trying to, that you did not like in your childhood, and you're trying to correct things that were so painful for you as a child.
Things that you said when you were a child. I'll never do that to my kids. I will never do that to my kids. I don't want my kids to live like that. Some people even decide not to have children because they're afraid of passing on any additional
mental illnesses or physical abuse, and because children can be triggers because there's trauma associated with your childhood, and so children will trigger your triggers. And some people, if you don't have any kind of outside help or somebody that you can confide in who can help you work through some of these traumas, then of course you're stuck in a downward spiral of depression, anger, rage, and things that you're cycling through and don't know how to get out of, and you can just spiral downwards.
Yes.
So definitely starseeds are here to create change. We want better for everyone, not just ourselves. So we do come in as guides and healers, and just that deep spiritual connection. We see the divine in everyone, and sometimes that gets us in trouble.
Traps us.
Because we're used to being in the higher frequencies and the higher dimensions where it is all love and all light, and we want to we're trying to be that here on Earth, and in Earth it's not the same kind of school. This school, it's a duality, so you're learning to work with the two separate energies separate. And so one of them is very heavy and dense, and that's where all the lies and the untruths and the mysteries, the hidden, the scary sits. And so we don't know how to focus, we don't know how to practice our love, how to shield ourselves, how to protect ourselves, and still be like empathetic and loving and kind and helping, but not to the point where you're giving away to people who are just taking it.
Right.
Without, this being receptive energy back and forth.
Yes, having the boundary that's there, right, that blocks you from now absorbing any negativity and taking on the negativity, but yet you're still open enough to now give forth that love, unconditional love, and see them as how they are going to be or could be, and the possibilities without that's right.
Over giving so much of yourself that you don't know self-care and that boundary and everything. So that is another trait of starseeds. We're just so empathic and giving that we over give, and we forget that we need some for ourselves too, and because we've gone through trauma ourselves and trying to alchemize it and change it and heal it, we still have to go through that healing process ourselves. So in helping others heal, we heal too, and it brings us back to that state of remembrance of who we are.
And why we came here, because we did come to change it. We did come to make a better world, a better life for our future generations and for the planet.
To help everybody see and remember why we are here,
Yes.
what the purpose of being on this planet is, and the meaning to your life itself. If you feel lost and you're not drawn to any specific religion, you just feel very spiritual, nothing.
Or you jump through a lot of them trying to find that
Seeking.
space that you belong, right? That seek and you'll find. It is.
Truth seekers.
And you end up just continually seeking that spiritual guidance, right? And understanding that finally it's yours. Spiritual guidance comes directly to you individually. It's not like you don't require a group in order to have a spiritual connection.
Right. It's through within your own being and your own connection to the powers, the higher power. Another, we do not like authority.
Strong aversion. That's right.
There's a
Nobody's
strong
gonna have power
aversion.
over me. I don't want it.
Or injustice, to war, to systems of oppression. There's this rebelliousness of governmental systems that are meant to oppress us and have that hierarchy established where some people are up here and some people are down here. We believe what's good for me is good for all, and how can I be happy when other people aren't happy? We have to have this, we want balance, we want enough for all, everybody to be treated equally.
Fairness, right?
Yes,
it's a fairness. You don't have to
justice
have exactly what I have or do exactly what I do, but what I do and what you do should not negatively affect either of the other. Right?
They both matter. They both have
Exactly.
equal use and need and should be valued, because what my gifts are and what your gifts are completely separate, but we need them.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's like the barter system, like you can grow potatoes and I can grow corn and we can trade, some of yours for some of mine, that kind of stuff, where there should be this balance of energy and exchange.
Yes.
And we don't have that in this system here on the earth, and that's part of our rebelliousness of no.
Yeah, it's trying not to be in excess, right? Is understanding that excess of anything is incorrect. It just is. It ends up being out of balance. So when you have anything that stays out of balance for too long, then
resentment breeds, and anger starts to breed, and rebellion starts to brood.
Exactly. When you have that, a rebellious spirit is just one that's just been pushed down to their limit, and they can't find any other way out, so they have to rebel against it. It's not like somebody just decides, okay, you can't have that piece of cake tonight, and the next day, they're rebelling against everything you've ever taught them or been with, stuff like this. It is just a systemic. That's what we're talking about. The thing that gets into the isms, anything that would bring somebody down and identify people, put them in a box and say that's where you live, that's where you'll always be, and you can't change, you can't be anything different, you can't be better, right? So for us,
and don't question.
You have to question everything, even your own beliefs over time, right? As you're going about things, why is this how I feel? Why is this why I believe that? And a starseed person is usually, that's how their wisdom is developed, because they even question their own selves. It's not just about why does somebody else do that and put themselves in other people's shoes. It is standing in their own shoes and recognizing things that they say, things that they do, and how they could be perceived.
Right, and having ownership and responsibility over the energy that you're putting out there with your words, your actions, your deeds, because that speaks a lot. Your actions will speak more than your words, and we have been very well versed in learning that. And you're often seen as a spiritual teacher, an old soul, a guide. People will just come to you and share information out of the blue. You can be in the grocery store and somebody can just walk up to you and have just random conversations, because there's this connection that's happening and occurring whether you realize it or not. They are just drawn to going to somebody who is a different vibration. Your souls do things, and people who listen to that and are guided by that daily, you have that understanding, that connection, and it's an inner connection with yourself. So you are aware. You are very aware and conscious. I'm going to put it that way.
Yeah, that is it. Is that you go through stages of awakening and awareness and stuff like this, and it isn't all at one time. It comes in various stages as you're going through and you're processing, right? Because if it all came in at one time, that's overwhelming, and you can't. It's like having too many choices, right? You stand there and you go, I don't know where to look. I don't know what to put my
where
focus
to even
on.
begin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it does come in
Waves.
stages and waves, and to understand that as you believe that you are finishing up stuff, little things will come up to trigger and make sure that you've cleaned it out and that you're ready to go, because you are on a mission. You have something that you're supposed to complete and do while you're here. You feel that, you know that, you keep going, this can't be all there is. It can't just be going to work and making a family and then,
being a good person.
Yeah. There's more to my life. There's more to me and who I am, and why I came here when I did, why you were born now, what you're experiencing in the now, what you experienced earlier in life, how many lifetimes have you lived while you're here right now. We talk about, childhood is one type of a lifetime, right? That's the one where choice is not yours, right? You don't have the choice. You don't have the experience to be able to do that. So you're dependent on others and others' opinions. And then when you move into the teenager and say in your 20s and stuff like that, that's a whole different set of growth and experimenting and experiences and challenging what you learned as that child, right?
Well, what if it's like, every 7 years is a cycle of a life on Earth, you know what I mean? Because each year when you start looking at cycles, there's these smaller ones, the minutes, the hours, the days, the weeks, the months, the years, and then you have like the sun's trip around the Earth, all the planets and everything. So when you start like adding all of those up, the micro and the macro, every 365 days, a trip around the sun, so 7 days a week, but in the cosmos, if it was 7 days around the sun, or each chakra gets a level of experience and then it starts over again, what if that's each layer of life, experience that you have.
A random fact is that your taste buds change every 7 years.
And your skin regrows, right?
Yes. So if there is
7 layers of the flesh, so like what if each level gets an activation, every 7 years. You work on each different chakra, and there's an awareness, there's a pattern, there's like, it's like a layer of blueprint, of information that goes over and in your aura. And then as you get older and older, they cycle back through, right? And so the information, if there's anything in there that's heavy, it's like, hey, look here. But going back to your signs of awakening, the different levels of awakening and awareness that come in for you, one of the first stages is just this divine experience or awakening or understanding or connection. Like you just feel this connection to like the source.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
I feel
there's something, there's a presence.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You feel like the earth or the universe or spirit is talking to you either through your own inner guiding system, because everybody has different clairs, and we can go through that one day about the different clairs.
Yes.
That would be fun.
Like clairaudience, clairvoyance, all that stuff.
Yes,
that's what she's
all
saying
the
when
different
she's saying
layers of clairs. Yes,
it's clear.
Clairvoyance and but yes, you have many of those, and you have developed them before you even, you've already been here. You probably mastered this planet already. Some of us have never been to Earth. Or this is our second go round and we're tying up loose ends, which is what me and Mom feel we are doing, that we weren't quite strong enough to alchemize it the first time, so we had to come back and finish it up this time so that we can just complete the mission, right?
Yes.
So, and we truly feel that we have finally done it this time. We're still clearing out some things in there, but for the most part, we think we got the whole thing alchemized, right? And so now we're just going to be in that receiving phase. This is what we've been guided to at this point. But so another phase is your belief system, right? You have a change in your belief and your attitude about life and how you perceive things and see things,
Not everything is coming to get you.
Right.
You know, when you start to have those feelings, when negative things happen, you stop going, that always happens to me. I never can get out of this. I'm always losing. I'm always, you know, every time I think I'm going to get ahead, I don't. I get knocked back down, instead of seeing like, oh my God, I just had this money come in and my washing machine broke, and I had the money to buy a new washing machine.
Yes.
And being thankful
That's
for
what
that,
it was
right?
for. You weren't out anything, right? There was some kind of balance that came in.
Yes.
And then you get that spiritual understanding then, well, if you are awakening and doing
up,
the
that's
work,
right.
You start to understand that everything does have purpose and timing.
Your perception starts to change, because it becomes more of the positive silver lining look, the optimist, right?
Synchronicity.
That's right. Everything for a reason. Everything happens when it's supposed to. And when you recognize it and you start to be in that place, then you stop seeing so much of everything happening for a negative reason.
That fear no longer has that control over your life anymore. You're able to see things with a different pair of eyes, right?
That's right.
You are now connecting to your inner guiding system, and you're no longer being thrown to and from in the wind.
Yes.
You actually have a little bit of stability and grounding in your compass, and having that awareness of there is purpose here. I'm starting to remember I am on a mission. You know, you're getting a little bit more and more
That's right.
awakened and aware. And then you start to become more aware of your being, right? And who you are, and your own inner beauty, your own growth, how far you've come,
you get a sense of your own
self-love,
wisdom.
Exactly. Your own wisdom, connecting more in the inner realms than the outer.
Right. And that your
world.
value has more to do with your inner self than your outer appearance, right?
Yes,
and
the material
activity,
world.
yes.
Your focus is now more on the inner spiritual world. That's the inside, things that you're listening to your intuition more, your feelings, you're realizing how everything works together, and they are working together. You're more connected to your divine masculine and your divine feminine, and knowing the difference of those two energies and trying to merge them together so that they're working in harmony and balance, and bringing that into your field of awareness, so that you can be better focused on helping everybody else achieve that same goal as well, which is why we want to help others. We have to do this for ourselves first, so that we can then help guide other beings how to do it.
And we've been, shown all these different ways of healing and different ways of going through the process. Some things that are extremely deep, extremely painful, that have been buried and stuff like that, can take a while and take multiple time frames in your life when they can come up and you can actually work on them to clear it and clean it out, and understanding that you're not a failure because it's come back up again. It's not that. It really
healing is in cycles.
Yes.
It's in layers and everything, and not to go, I thought I healed this. It is more and more. You healed that version, maybe that perception in that moment. There might be a little deeper, more something deeper here. Just look at it again.
I've been a crybaby. I have thrown temper tantrums. I have not been good. When I realize I have to go dig this stuff up again, I have been a foot stomper and Brandy just laughing, and other people that were in our lives helping me to go through the process, right? Because the very beginning was very, very strange, because it was like that awakening that happened to me was during a point when I really wanted to die. I was very, very depressed and in a negative
feeling
place.
Hopeless.
Yes.
All this work for what?
Yeah.
When
I
you just feel
suicidal.
like,
I don't want to
I'm
say
good
that,
all the time, and that don't work. So I go against my inner nature and try the opposite and just not care. And that didn't feel good. So now I'm in this in-between place, And
I'm stuck, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't feel good. I don't find
like
where
this
I fit.
way of life. I don't like this is it. You have children, you raise them up to leave you, and then you're left alone.
Exactly. And some women left alone without a partner, a husband, either through divorce, death, or whatever. They're alone. And that is like this this space of nothingness. If you haven't ever experienced it, right, it's so hard to explain it, but those of you that have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And really, it was the time when Spirit goes, well, now that you're not paying attention to everything else, and you're not often
worried about this child, they all have their own homes now, they're all living there and having their children and everything, so now
let's,
what are you doing?
That's right. Let's do something together. And that's how mine began. And then it turned into just such a...
Well, health starts falling apart when you start feeling lost, you know, and there's no hope. I have no joy. And so the body starts breaking down and, you know, disease starts setting in. And if you don't watch out and heal, then, of course, cancer sets in, right? And so when you start going down that spiral of illnesses, then you have really... let your emotions and your mind and your pain and everything get the better of you.
Yes.
And you should have sought help a long time ago.
And we're not saying not to check in with your doctors and stuff, but there is a component of your lifestyle, of your spiritual belief system, your emotional life, you know.
All of those that play into effect, you know, and doctors used to address the whole being, and now they've separated each doctor, and the mind is separate from the body, and the emotions are separate from the mind.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. And now they treat the individual separating energies instead of it's all functioning together.
Isn't it funny how insurance now covers very little of mental health? There's very little insurance that will help you with mental health. Now, get sick. Oh, my God, they'll sign you up to get as many pills, many treatments,
we'll work that physical body.
That's right.
But they don't even do anything. For me, like, therapy does kind of hit mental and emotional stuff, but there is nothing that you have to pay for that all out of pocket. If you want therapy, you want emotional help, nope. You have to be completely on the deep end. Go check yourself into a mental facility or, you know, the psych ward in the hospital. You know what I mean? That's the only time you can get free help.
But you only have it limited. It still is very limited.
You're only in here for this many days, and your problems don't go away like that.
No,
you know.
And that's the thing, is because there is a setup, right? If you recognize that, that's a setup so that there isn't a connection with mind, body, spirit, right?
Right. They separate them out.
Exactly. And so you do have to keep going in for treatments when you have let the body now be succumb to that disease, right? But you can work on that doesn't mean that you can't go back now and do the work of the mental and the...
Right. Find out where... because they don't want it. They don't teach you that your pain is originating from a different source, right? They want you to believe it's all just in the physical body. You're missing these vitamins and your immune system's weak and your digestive issues, you know, all that stuff are all separate from the emotions and the
You're
mental
genetically
realm.
Predisposed, right?
Right. Exactly.
Another word for an ancestral line of illness, right?
And those are the disruptions that cause the illness and everything in the body in the first place, because it's not in balance. They aren't working cohesively together, and so that separation is what's causing the illness. And so when you come seek professional treatment, or you come see specialists like me and Mom, who are shamans, and we know how to work with the mind, body, spirit, physical body, and get them all to be working
in
together.
Alignment, really.
Yes, exactly. We're all back together. We're working in harmony. I can understand the causes now and where I need to put my mind and focus on, and truly see them healing and not needing those medications, not needing those pills anymore, because
there's a spontaneous recovery.
The chemicals in the body will align with whatever emotions, whatever, less stress, all that anxiety, those fears and everything. They're not feeding off of those chemicals anymore, so it's not keeping the body in that state of stress and distress and just out of alignment, period.
Correct.
You know? So there is, when you start doing that healing work, because spiritual healing is part of being a starseed, you will be healing yourself as well, because of because
part of your journey is healing others, right?
Exactly.
And whether that's the planet, whether that's other people, whether that's your family line, whatever it is.
Or you could be somebody who's here to work with the animal kingdom. You could be here to work with the plant kingdom. You could just be here yourself, anchoring that light, anchoring that energy and love on the planet. You could be working, people who are, marine biologists, or the ones who are working with the ocean or the pollutants in the air,
Yes.
creating inventions and stuff that help create that, the free
The
energy.
counterbalance for the ones that just made anything willy-nilly, no matter if it was going to damage us, hurt
Plastics,
the planet, become a
non-biodegradable.
That's right. All those things.
Yes, and
We
you
need
could
a
be somebody
counter.
who's here to help work with Mother Gaia so that she can cleanse, all the garbage and everything that's just polluting our planet. It just depends on what your mission is, and there's so many different missions. It just depends on what you feel called and compelled to,
And drawn to. You'll know.
Yes, you're so passionate about it. There's such a focus and a deep heart feeling connection to what it is that you are passionate about, and that's going to be your compass, and that's what we're supposed to be doing, is following that compass of passion, because that is the least resistance,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And that's where we're supposed to be following that passion, because that leads you to your success and to your higher calling and to that infinite abundance that we're all looking for. But when we get stuck in that ego trip of, well, I got to pay my bills, I got to do this. Yes, but, take those steps, take that risk, and you'll find out that you will be divinely guided,
Absolutely.
And we have been there ourselves too, we had, from where we used to be to where we are now in 10 years, so much can happen. So many lessons, so many just information, downloads of information. That's another thing. When you start on the path of the starseed, when you start wakening up, and not everybody's a starseed, I'm just saying.
Yes. If this is you, if this resonates with you, and you feel like you're a starseed, there's certain things that start to happen.
Right. What was I saying? Well, we felt called to move, that we were not in the right area to do what we were supposed to be doing. And so we got called to move out of state and move somewhere. We didn't know anybody. We didn't know where this place was. We've never been here. None of us have ever visited here. And we're kind of in the middle of the country, and in a really poor city.
Yes.
And
it's not even a city, it's a town.
Okay, it's a little town, very little town. But we're just on the outskirts of the town. I mean, it's like 2 minutes to drive through our town. It's very tiny.
It's one of those ones that say, don't blink, you'll miss it. Okay, it's
exactly.
That small.
And so when we first got here, we just fell in love with the land itself. The land was what was calling us. And I think we spoke about this in one of our other things. Mm-hmm. It told us its name when we were down in Florida. It was the Oasis. So anyways, we fell in love with the land, and when we were looking up, just getting it surveyed and stuff, we found out we are on the 33rd ley line. We were like, what's up? And for anybody who doesn't know, there are these energetic lines that run around the earth. They call them like dragon ley lines. And there's two of them. There's a female and a male. And one of them, they cross the 33rd, meridian, longitude, latitude. And there's all the sacred sites. Most of them are built along this energetic line around the planet. And this is where a lot of energy, the magnetic energy, it congregates on this grid line. And so it runs through our property. And we were like, what's up? Like, yes. And so you will find that we are all spread out, that you're not going to be close. It's hard to find your soul tribe because we are so scattered around on the planet, because we're here to infiltrate the system.
And heal from wherever you're at.
Wherever you're at, you work this area, I'll work this area. We spread ourselves out so that we can work
and find the rest of us, right? Because we're everywhere. We are everywhere. And since we feel like we're on this specific journey, we actually landed on this ley line without knowledge, right? This was a guided thing. We had so many different things we went through to narrow down before we chose this specific area that we moved to. It had to check all these boxes that we had marked off, and it did. And the first time we came out here, this place was not listed. It was not available. So we saw other places, but we loved the area. And when we went home, we were so dejected because we didn't find anywhere here that was our space. Well, with what exactly we were looking for. And as soon as we got home, Brandy jumps back on the internet, puts in it one different search term that we had not any of us looked up, and sure enough, bam. And since we had just been here, we called them immediately. They had listed it the day we left to come up here. That's why we didn't see it. And so when we got home, we're like, we want it. We want
want to come see it. When can we come?
We sent them money ahead of time to hold it till we could get up here, because it was going to be 2 weeks before we could make it back up, because we were still, within the system down there. There's still jobs that were still being done, people still working, and so we had to have the money to make it back up here to come tour the property again.
You don't just stop everything cold turkey
Nope.
and go, yep, I'm jumping here. I mean, you put some... There's got to be things in place, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I understand that the fear of just go for your passion, right? I'm not going to pay my bills. I'm going to go live my passion, you know?
That's right. Yeah.
There are small steps you can take to start going that
Yes.
direction. Everything requires just a step forward. It's not a rush, Boom. I understand all that, because we have to do that too. Everything is a subtle shift. You don't want to just go bam, bam, cold turkey,
Right.
and then not be successful. You really want to just start, where can I begin? And then just begin, you know what I mean?
Steps.
And
It all
transition.
started small, because for us, it wasn't. I mean, we had been working at this for several years before this opportunity came to us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because we had started aligning ourselves and getting everything ready and following where we felt we were being led and staying on that path, and doors just kept opening for us over and
The
over and over.
synchronicities
Yes.
that I was telling you about, things just all of a sudden open up. You're like,
They
whoa,
there's not a lot of work to get
it's
it.
unexplainable things that can happen, you know what I mean? For people, you'd be like, that's magic, you know what I
That's
mean?
right.
It's miracles. I mean, all that, they're all the same thing. Synchronicity, miracles, magic, alignment, everything, just all of a sudden the doors open because you found the thread of least resistance. You found the path. You don't have here's a blockage here, there's a blockage here. Those are all, they're telling you, don't go this way, don't
Right.
go this way, go this way. And you have to keep trying the different doors to see which one's open.
Exactly. And then when it happens, it is so, everything falls into place in a way that you would love it to happen, right? But you could not have imagined that it all would have just went bing, 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 and just fell into place so easily. And then you're able to accomplish everything that you had dreamed of. And, what we found out was that, well, you don't get to stop dreaming.
You're not done.
This wasn't the stop.
Is the beginning of your journey. You found the beginning. You found the entrance.
Yes.
Into the labyrinth. Now find your way out now.
Well, it is. It is kind of. There's little pockets in the labyrinth where, you can get fed and, you can rest a little bit and stuff like this and gather a few more tools. But then you got to keep.
Yeah, there's more mountains to climb. And, you'll start feeling that higher connection,
Yes.
More connection to your higher self, who knows that you have been here before. You've done this before.
Well, you start to trust your intuition more. The stuff that you've been
That's
programmed
right.
not to listen to, now you really do listen to it, and you're seeking that out.
You start
and you're-
seeking out
yes.
why. Why is this taboo? You start to question everything.
Yeah, nothing is
You
now
follow
like
those
this.
threads. Nothing for surface. I got to see what's in here.
Exactly.
What is this about? And that's working with the energies that are around you and merging your masculine, your feminine, and everything. Starseeds start to become once you get that connection, then it's on.
Yeah, you're always seeking knowledge. You never quit. It's like learning is a
I need
food.
more
Yes.
input.
Yes.
More information.
You're the seeker of that energy, of those other vibrations, and recognizing there are 7 major chakras, but there's like over 100 of them.
There's a lot of chakras. Even in the physical body, there's a lot of
Yes.
chakras. But you have the big ones.
And those are the ones that most people know and can, align with and work with those pretty quickly. And then as you just delve and you get more attuned and you're guided that direction, then maybe that's your path for helping others to heal and open up and wake up. So, but basically we're visionaries, y'all. We don't see any one way to the future. We see that there's many ways to get there. You've just got to start right now and be present right now. In your awakening process, wherever it is that you find you are, you just keep moving forward. Just keep listening to your intuition, to your connection with your, whatever you want to call your creator, right? Whatever that divine spirit is, this thing that your soul comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that is like in your awareness, the easier it is to understand how things can happen the way that they do.
And to have that faith.
Yes.
That you're always guided, and you're always on the right path, and everything has purpose and meaning.
We stopped using the word hope very much because there's something about that word. Hope sounds really good.
Well, people do hold on to hope, and people inspire others, and it gives them hope. There is a good vibration to hope.
Yes, it is not a negative vibration, but faith is such a better word because with faith, it hope leaves a little bit of doubt there. You hope it's going to happen, but it may not. I hope it happens. I hope it's going to. But if it doesn't, it's almost like a yes, but.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
That's kind of what hope sounds like to me. This is me, and this is part of the stuff that I've been going through with my trainings. How words really, what do they mean, and what vibration do they carry? Hope is much better than doubt, right? You don't want doubt. Doubt's really low down there, right? But hope. It's like you're moving towards that positive thing of faith, which faith is that you believe.
Hope is like a lower vibration of faith.
It is. Yeah. It is just under. So if you've come from complete doubt and disappointment and negativity, and then you're made
growing into hope.
That's right. You're doing good. You are moving into that, and then once you get in hope, now move into faith. Now move into that belief system that, of course. That is, it is a known thing. I have faith. I know it's going to happen. I know it.
I have complete and utter trust and faith that it's going to be mine.
That's right.
I'm going to get it.
I deserve it.
That's
I asked for it. I've worked hard to get it, and now it is mine.
Be,
that's
so
right.
it is.
So it is. and so that's what we're trying to help you understand, is that there's all these different levels to work through, all these different places to come to as you're moving along that starseed path, right?
Well, and you might not find that, you might not resonate with starseed right now, you know what I mean? The planets and the galaxies from being far away from Earth and not originating from the Earth, and some starseeds have originated from Earth, even inner Earth. But yes, most starseeds are from other galaxies, other star systems, other planets, other suns.
Universes.
I mean, it just depends.
Suns, yes.
Universes. Yes, there's so much out there that is unknown, and some of it is known. But
we're in a human form right now.
Right. We are in this human form on this planet right now. And so we all have different belief systems. We all have different characteristics and expressions of the divine, and it shines
Gifts
through
and
each of
things
us.
that we
Exactly.
use and
Our
tools,
our healing abilities, our missions, our purpose, we're all different.
Yes.
So, and you might not resonate with it right now, but you may find that you do later on.
That's right. This might be your first seed.
Yes,
might be the
exactly.
first seed for you to hear.
And those of us who were seeds are now blossoms, right? Because
Yes.
we've been here on the planet, and now we're moving forward into that next phase, the next mission, which is now to, put yourself out there and start helping the new ones that are coming in, right? So what I want to do now is go through some of the different starseed names of ones that are mainly talked about. There is a lot, but these are just the ones that you'll see more mainstream. And I'm just now getting into, I've been connected to starseeds my entire life, and, extraterrestrials and the stars and everything. So I've known, since I was younger that, I didn't necessarily fit in with everybody, think the same way as everybody, had such an affinity for stars. If y'all know me, I have them all over my arms and my tattoos and everything. And in my bedroom, I've always drawn the planets and stars and everything like that. Anyway, so I've always looked into extraterrestrials and stuff like that, and knew of the Palladians are some. There's Lyrans, Sirians, Orions, Arcturians. These are some of the different names, but I'm going to discuss some of their energies, what they bring here to the planet, and how they feel and are seen, and see if you guys relate to any of them, because you may have some of that in your lineage somewhere along the way. All right, and so, Mom, even you're going to see which one you feel a connection to, because I have a connection to several of them. And that's how, and I know there's some that you're going to feel more that you resonate with over others, and so that means you just have a stronger connection to that lineage, right? All right, so the first one I want to talk about is the Pleiades, which are seen as very feminine energy. They're not all feminine, but they are very feminine in their energy and their qualities that they exude. Some people have heard of Pleiades in connection to the constellation Taurus or the Seven Sisters. It's known as a galactic library. They're very closely connected to Earth. And so anybody who is of who can channel or just has a connection to their guides and everything, especially if they're talking to galactic guides. Pleiadians are the closest to the planet Earth right now and are working a lot with starseeds who are here on the planet. They're healers, they're guides, they're channelers, they have pure intention, they're leaders, very creative. They have that mothering, nurturing energy. They're quick learners. They can shift quickly. They have such a love for family, very empathic, sensitive, understanding. They can be prone to attracting narcissists because of their big hearts, and they are very emotional. They love all of nature. They're very wise and active. They know that there's a higher choice in all actions, a higher ideas. They can be prone to being a perfectionist, a little bit, because they want, everything to be perfect or to be of a higher vibration. They are very expressive and they have to speak their truth. So I know we connect a lot with the Pleiades.
Yeah. I was going to say, well, we signed up on that one.
Mm-hmm. And so the next group is going to be called the Syrians, and they can originate from A or B. And I believe that there's is it the Hopi who have that connection to Sirius B?
Yes, Sirius B.
And they believe that the dolphins originated there because of, their telepathic skills and everything like that. And some of their stories and their myths relate to the dolphins and the star in the sky. So they are here to assist the collective, as all starseeds are. These are very old souls. They have ancient energy. They are protectors. They have very calm energy. They enjoy working with technology and math and very logical thinking.
This is not me.
I have some of this. I don't have a whole lot, but I have a good balance of masculine and feminine. They're mechanical. They like to work with their hands. They like things to be of quality versus quantity.
Yes.
They put a lot of pride in their work, right?
Yes.
They love to learn too. They like activities. They have a lot of masculine energy. If you haven't picked up on that already, but they're more masculine feeling. It doesn't mean they're feminine, but they have this is a masculine energy, right? They're powerful. They can be very mysterious. They're daydreamers. They're devoted to the harmony of all. They do have a savior complex. Part of them, because they are, they like to fix people, help heal people and everything. And so they do not like chaos or chaotic energy. But they do have a fear of being vulnerable, which is very masculine energy, right? They do not like to expose their heart. Adventurous, and they love to seek knowledge. So maybe some of y'all relate to Assyrian energy. Another one will be discussing Arcturians. And Arcturians, these are the builders. They're highly evolved and intelligent. They're also seen as leaders, guides of light. They have intense eyes.
That would be me and Brandy.
Yes. Our eyes can see deep. We have a very potent soul. Good with technology for healing.
Yes.
We like to use technology to heal. The opposite form of what we're seeing. There's goods and bads to the technology, as is all things. It's all in how you use it, right? And so we like to apply it for the good. We use sound frequency to heal. We use our voice. There's tones in our voice that put out energetic codes or hidden information that your soul picks up on. They're activating codes is what they are. So what comes through our voice activates other people to either awaken or to remember something or to, I just got an aha.
Yes.
Those things will come into people's energy when we are doing work with them or just having conversation. That's why some people will walk up to certain starseeds and just have a conversation with them, because an exchange is happening in a different realm,
Yes,
dimension than what we are able to see with our physical eyes and knowing and awareness. But something else is just a transference has occurred. And then our higher selves are going, great, I'm glad we met up on the path at the exact time we agreed to meet up. Here's the exchange, and off we go. They can be very intuitive, detail-oriented. They can see many perspectives. Also can suppress our own energy and become too introverted. And that, I think, happens when we are in our hermit phase,
Yes.
when we are alchemizing, and so we have to go within and do our own shadow work so that we can then, come back out and do the mission, right? There's a very neutral energy. This one isn't masculine or feminine. They're very balanced and using both energies. They can be influencers, people who are out there, that people are like, ooh, they're inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
I want to apply some of their information into my life, and how I do things or see myself. They are alchemists, which is what I was just talking about. Alchemizing the negative energy and transforming it. I truly believe all starseeds are alchemists. We're all here to transmute the negative energy. Let's see. They quickly evolve. So we're quick to get the lessons and move forward.
That means we're adaptive, right? We recognize when this isn't working, this feels like it's too much resistance, and you end up moving to going, okay, instead of beating my head against this wall and trying to just keep pushing my way into that, we're going to
shift some energy around, right? Let's try something different. We need something different.
That's right.
It's getting stagnant,
That's right.
all right? Okay. All right, so the next group, are Andromedans, and I've always loved the Andromedan energy. Yes. Woo. Okay, so these are natural leaders or healers. They are very playful. They are a creative feminine energy. So this one is feminine as well. Mm-hmm. They are intuitive. They know who they are, but they have a curious, childlike energy. So they are very, they're here to liberate everybody, to have that self-freedom, that connection to that inner child, a strong inner child who's very playful. They have hands-on energy work. They are the activists. They're protesters against injustice. They get bored easily. Again, that childlike energy, like airy, flighty.
Well, there's just so many possibilities, right? If you have the choice of everything, right? And sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes you have so many choices. It gets so exciting. You're like, well, I want to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do it all. And so then you're like we say about, squirrel.
Yeah,
you start down this one thing and another.
Airy fairy, bring it to earth. You got to be grounded, right? And children are not grounded. They're still connected to spirit,
That's right.
But we need that. We need that reminder because, that is the pure innocence and that unconditional love that we're here to actually bring to earth. So.
And that everything is possible and nothing is impossible.
Right. That imagination is so vivid and wild and, just inspiring because that's where we create is from that space.
Absolutely. They're
very connected to nature. Of course, speakers, if they are protests and activists, they're not in a negative light. It's, they are out there helping people to get justice. They can have low self-esteem, though, because, of course, when you're innocent and childlike, you see everybody as a good guy and good intentions, and so you can be a little bit naive and trusting of everyone, and that leaves you up for, people to take advantage of you. So, and they bring lots of joy and light to the earth. All right, so the next one I feel very connected to. I think a lot of people in my family have this one. Actually, a lot of y'all probably have this because a lot of people in our group are very like cat oriented, love kitty cats.
Mm-hmm.
So these are called Lyrans, and they are explorers. They're nomads of the galaxy, and this is that. Okay, so their home, their origin was destroyed. Their planet was during some of these galactic wars, and their home planet was beautiful. It was stunning. They are, that's why they are nomads, because their home no longer is there. Their origins are no longer there. So they travel through the different galaxies, learning from each star system, galaxy or whatever, learning their culture. And then they travel to another planet, learn their lessons, learn their culture, and then they share all the cultures around so that everybody has some of this knowledge, because knowledge is for everyone. Knowledge is light. And they mourn for their home. They wish, that they could go home, but they can't. They don't have their home anymore, so they've had to make everywhere else their home, pretty much. They're very strong, confident, sexually embodied, and expressive. So they are like very into the sexual energy that is used to create, and that magnetism, right? They are ancient energies. They have a pioneering spirit. They are pioneers. They are very respected leaders. These are the type, they have a sense of royalty to them. Mm-hmm. Very regal, because they are for the many versus the small few, mm-hmm. right? They are the type of leaders that we all look up to, because they have everybody's intentions at the heart of every action that they do. They are the type of leaders that everybody looks up to and wants to work for, because they wouldn't put something on somebody that isn't fair, isn't just, that they themselves wouldn't agree to, They can be very bold, charming. They are the trendsetters, hence the pioneers. They have a very balanced energy. They are very brave. They speak their truth very clearly. They can be master manifestors, shapeshifters, because they're very adaptive. It's that feline energy, okay? That regal, receptive energy. Mm-hmm. Where, cats are more, you come to me type energy, and I am, I sit here and be taken care of kind of thing.
Right.
But it's not necessarily in the selfish way or anything like that. They really are here to serve everyone.
Well, they can be aloof, but there's one thing. Once they commit to you as their person, then you are the body that they bestow their...
Right. You are worthy,
That's
right?
They are discerning. That's
discernment.
What that is.
That's it. Exactly.
Discerning.
They are very discerned. Oh, that's beautiful. They want to build their own kingdom. They love luxury. They can be indulgent sometimes. And luxuries are like, good food, a peaceful environment, you know what I mean? They like things that look good, taste good, smell good.
That's so funny because, what do each of us, like when I think about what luxury is to me and the way that my life has evolved and stuff like this, it is very, very small. It's a minuscule type of luxury that that I'm looking for, right? Like I want to have a very comfortable bed. My bed mm-hmm. needs to be like this perfect space. A hot tub, right? I have this perfect hot tub in my head that just is like, yes,
a bath.
Yes, exactly. and the type of garden that I'd want to be present in when I'm outside, and what's included in that. Those are
mm-hmm.
all what luxury is.
It's the visual and feeling, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It is that. It is stuff that makes you feel good. And
not
what is your feel good?
Those purses that are like, thousands of dollars.
Neither.
That's not
it's
my
not
luxury.
This physical thing like
Nope.
that, you know what I mean? I do enjoy a beautiful home, but it's my space, my sacred space that makes me feel good and incites all of my...
Yeah, it stimulates all of those
Ooh, I love that
beautiful
beautiful plant, my little greenery area, my sacred space, stuff like that. And having somebody give me a massage, I'm going to say that is a luxury.
Oh, my feet. If you just rub my feet.
On my back.
Yeah,
my shoulders.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, just okay. And I'm not a toucher. I don't like people touching me. I'm not really.
I can do a massage now.
Yep.
Other than that, that's it.
Well, that's given permission, right?
Yes.
It's hard on us because of our energy and everything, and because we are so open and vulnerable,
Sensitive.
susceptible, sensitive, that when people touch us, there's actually such a transfer that's immediate, and they don't even recognize that it's coming through to us, right? So we have to kind of walk around. You can't walk around with like a steel shield, but you have to.
Yes.
Starseeds in particular have to shield themselves. That's right, because you cannot wear everyone's energy. You cannot
activate that field.
That's right.
Okay, let me see. Here's another. They find success through hardship.
Oh, God.
Isn't that horrible? I mean, it isn't, but it is, you know what I mean? You work to achieve everything. And, you know, and that's what makes a good leader, though, is somebody who has done the work themselves. People honor and respect that. They don't want somebody who's just born into, you know, leadership role.
Spoon.
And you don't know what it's like to get out there and go work for everything that you've got. You know what I mean? You want somebody who's been there, done that, and achieved this, you know? And then you're like going, oh, they set that tone for everyone to you can too, you know?
Absolutely.
They too have that savior complex because a leader wants everybody to be successful like them, right? Okay, the last one I'm going to talk about for this session, y'all, there's many more, like I was saying, Orions, and the Orion, well, there's, Draconians are another one, reptilians, you know, these are ones that are kind of seen on the lower negative spectrum of starseeds, galactic beings. These are the ones that we're here to actually alter their lineage a little bit, right? Because they have the darker, lower density energies, and we're trying to alchemize them and bring more love and light into how they operate. Because they have, you know, and there's good and bad in all species, okay? And so there are good Orions and, you know, ones who aren't quite evolved yet, and those are the ones we're trying to work on. But there are good and bad in each area. So the Orions, we are here to shift the karma for their race. And some of them are doing that within their own race. They're working to make amends for things that they have done. They are less heart-based. They haven't activated the heart space yet. So they're functioning on the lower realms. It's still a little animalistic, whereas survival of the fittest. You know what I mean? They don't care about anybody else's needs. They don't care about survival of the many. It is all about us, and this is what our needs are. And I don't care if we deplete this source of energy. I don't care if we are going to war and many die. They really do not have that heart, compassion, empathy, sympathetic nature to them.
Their needs being met are all encompassing. That's their...
We learn better individually versus we learn better, you know, when we all, as a group, are working together to achieve this goal. They believe separately on our own, this is how we evolve. And they are, some of them are working to try and transmute that energy and activate that heart space. That's why they're here on Earth. And they're calculated. Some of these, you can see that energy in narcissists, and they're very competitive. They see things in black and white. They speak status over value. They really value the material world and climbing the ladder to success instead of, you know, creating more love and helping others and kindness and putting that out there. It's more self-motivated.
Yeah, it'd be like somebody who, you know, there's a word brag, right? And some people feel like brag is very negative and stuff like this, but brag can be something different compared to boastful and someone who is just propping themselves up to make you feel bad versus propping themselves up and encouraging you that you could do it as well.
Yeah.
Right? So there is
I can see that.
The difference in this energy is that theirs is, I'm better than you. You could not do it better than me. And I'm always going to be better than you, so I deserve more than you.
Yeah, it is a, you know, step on the person to get ahead kind of energy. They're really good, though, at speaking. Good at truth speaking, you know, and sometimes it can be like, too, cut a bit, you know what I mean, kind of energy to put you down, you know. They're still light workers, but they're more in the dark, you know. They're not aware and awakened to all of their actual higher abilities because they're still functioning in the lower realm.
It's kind of like they're more, they see things more in the physical
Yes, that's
rather
the
than
lower, denser
yes.
energy form. So
So they'd be materialistic, and they'd be that competitive. That is that just to be the best, not to make the team the best, but so that they're the best.
And these are it's a masculine energy.
Oh,
It's more the ego versus the heart being.
yes,
They're functioning in the ego mind instead of the heart space. So, and it's not anything to be ashamed of when you have these genetic encodings, the DNA within your being as a starseed. We are here to help each other, and that's our mission anyway. So anything that's functioning in the lower realms, we're trying to help them also alchemize. So we are working with starseeds as well as we are working with the human race and other beings. We're all just trying to ascend, and that's why they are here. We're all trying to ascend. That's why we all came to Earth at this moment in time when the Earth was trying to ascend. We came in a chaotic time frame to where there was enough light that more of us from higher frequencies of dimension could come here to Earth and help lift it up, because this is such a dense energy coming from a higher realm of higher frequency.
Well, never in our knowledge, let's say our common knowledge of modern man right now and what that is, because we don't know what they always are discovering new things about history and stuff, and
even
the human
DNA.
race. That's right, and all that stuff. So we don't really know all of those aspects of things, but for right now and where we find ourselves in this modern space, we are ascending so rapidly because we have a way of connecting to each other in ways that we've never had before with the internet.
Technology.
That's right, this technology.
The Aquarian age,
that's right. That's how we are when you're looking at these starseeds that use technology for the benefit of mankind and the earth and everything. This is one of the ways that you do it, by spreading the information, spreading the word, helping people to become aware, more positive in their vibrations, and seeking out others who are creating that, not the ones who dwell in the look at the shooter who killed all these people. It is look at the people who helped everyone that was down there when the shooter was shooting and saved all of these people. These people weren't injured. Looking at things from those kind of perspectives, and all of us working together on change together versus, these little pockets that don't know about anybody else. So you can be discouraged. You can feel like you're not making any headway.
Yeah.
Now you have opportunity to look and see there is headway. There are other people working. There are other people trying to get the message out. And for all of us to just start using our voices and speaking it out loud and not involving yourself within the negativity that's promoted on your TV programs, radio programs, all these things that promote negative energy, lower vibration, and lack.
Yeah, you'll find, it's hard to find this all because we're kind of undercover, right? There is a mask you have to wear when you're in public because, if you're all out there all exposed and everything, people think you're a weirdo.
Yeah. And it's hard to battle somebody who's automatically made a decision about you just by seeing you.
Well, exactly. People already make assumptions anyways, and so those aren't your people if that's who they are, and so it's hard to find your people. You just kind of start picking up on their energy and being very open and watching, listening, all those kinds of things. You'll get better at spotting them, because we have. And it's taken 10 years to find some here in our town, but it's actually like 45 minutes away from our town. But we have seen some and have been to different festivals just to kind of put some feelers out to find if there's any around in this area, and it is a little secluded. So there's been very few, but online we can all find each other and connect that way. So hopefully some of this information, resonates for some of y'all. And, if this is a little too taboo of a topic for some people, then, leave it here for somebody else to pick it up.
That's right. Then this isn't your tribe now. Right?
Exactly.
Because
this is my mom's tribe. This is where we resonate.
That's
and this
exactly
is where we vibe. So hopefully this doesn't scare too many of y'all.
Well, if you have any questions, that's the thing. Seek, look, research, find. Don't just stop here. Don't just take our word for it and our resonance, right? What
Right.
resonates for us, what's our belief system, may not completely be your belief system. Maybe there's
No.
parts of our belief system that filter into some of yours.
Right,
And
but
so,
like, ooh, that was for me. This message here was for me. I resonated with that one. I'll take that one and apply that.
that's interesting thought. Let me go check that out and see what that thought process is like. What is that?
Go seek it yourself and get whatever information you can. That dive deeper. Just keep diving.
We're just here seeding the information that we've received, right?
Yep.
That's all that we
Putting it out.
can do in this world right now is put out the seeds that we're given, and where they take root, we're not really sure yet. We're just hopeful and faithful.
Faithful, that's right.
That it resonates with all of you, okay?
Yep. And this planet's just going to grow, and we're all going
yes.
to achieve our missions and our desires, and
it's going to be an amazing space for future generations to come. That it's going to be, look what they did, look what they accomplished. How dark was that world, and they came.
they're already
and changed
doing that
it.
up there.
That's
Know what I mean? All of our galactic brothers and sisters are like, yeah, they did it. They transmuted that horrible.
That's right,
language.
exactly. So.
All right. Well, y'all have a great day. This was a really long episode. And I'm sure y'all ain't going to complain, though.
Exactly. So.
All right. Well, everybody have a great day.
We wish you love, peace, and light on your path. And till we meet again.
Till next time. See you soon.